Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking the hottest topic in skincare right now, vitamin C. Ever since the patent on the SkinCeuticals CE Feruli expired earlier this year, the floodgates have opened and it seems like we're having a new vitamin C launch every single day. Whilst so many new vitamin C's should be welcomed, I'm all for the choice. The eagle-eyed amongst you, particularly those online, have noticed that there's a subtle difference. Rather than brands just copying the SkinCeuticals formulation like for like, they're often switching up the form of vitamin C they use to something called ethylated ascorbic acid. This has created an awful lot of conversation online and I think an awful lot of misunderstanding. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about ethylated ascorbic acid, how it could actually be the next generation vitamin C, adding a whole lot of benefit to your skincare routine, and how maybe ascorbic acid might just have had its day. We're going to talk the pros, the cons, everything in between. So sit back, relax, let's talk new style vitamin C's. Now in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts, feelings, opinions, both sides of this coin so that you guys can make the right decision when it comes to your own skincare routine. But I want to know what that decision is. Are you still an ascorbic acid purist? The pure form vitamin C or nothing at all? If you are, let me know by leaving the orange emoji down in the comment section below. If you're somebody that's open to new ideas, trying new things, exploring the skincare market and think that ethylated ascorbic acid might actually be the future, then again, let me know by leaving the lemon emoji down in the comment section. That way we can kind of see where the thoughts and opinions of the Mad About Skin community lie. As with everything in skincare, I'm going to be completely transparent and share with you some of my personal favorite products, and these are entirely sponsorship and paid partnership free. A lot of the narrative around the ascorbic versus ethylated ascorbic acid debate has been driven by the big corporations and the businesses. They never have our interests at heart. Here on Mad About Skin, I turn down that coin from sponsorships because it allows me to speak from the heart and never the wallet. So if you want to support me as an independent voice here on YouTube, the best way of doing so is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So when I was exploring this topic in a little bit more detail, I think one thing really struck me. When it comes to skincare, there are a lot of purists out there, people that really just click to one ingredient or one form of an ingredient and then dismiss anything else that might come along. We've seen it with tretinoin, a fantastic ingredient in its own right, but has kind of been usurped by tazarotene, a newer generation, what some dermatologists online are calling a more potent option with less irritation. And yet, the tretinoin purists saying, I'm not even going to look at any of that, even consider a second opinion, it's tret or nothing. And the same kind of is happening with vitamin C. Does it mean that everybody has to switch to ethylated ascorbic acid? Absolutely not. But I think as skincare consumers, we should kind of keep an open mind and ultimately use what works for us, which is hopefully how this video might come in useful for you. So, a little bit of a vitamin C 101. Traditionally, the view was that vitamin C came in two forms: pure form, ascorbic or L-ascorbic acid, and derivative form. There are hundreds of different derivatives. And the general consensus is that pure form works quicker but can be more sensitizing on the skin. Derivatives, the general consensus seems to be, are a little bit more limited in terms of their benefits, but still give you some great outcomes and do so with a lot less irritation than pure form vitamin C. Those are the two different schools of vitamin C. In truth, there's always been a middle ground between these two camps, and that's ethylated ascorbic acid. It's been around for years, but it's only really getting the attention it deserves now because a lot of big brands are investing in research around this ingredient, and you're seeing it increasingly appear in our skincare serums. What it is it's not really a derivative of vitamin C because it is pure form vitamin C just with an alcohol molecule added on. So it's not true derivative, but it's also not true pure form. It's what I would call a modified form of pure form vitamin C, if that makes sense. Because it doesn't fit neatly into either of these categories, you can see a lot of misinformation online. Vitamin C purists will say it's just another vitamin C derivative and they won't go anywhere near it. The vitamin C derivative fans worry that because it's closer to pure form vitamin C, it might risk sensitivity and irritation. So again, they tend to avoid it. And it sits and occupies this grey area in between. Well, that's really started to change because recently there's been some new studies into ethylated ascorbic acid and they show really promising results. You'll also see a lot of the big skincare brands starting to invest in this ingredient, include it in their skincare formulations. And so there's much more choice than there ever has been before when it comes to ethylated ascorbic acid. And that's why I think genuinely this could be the future direction that vitamin C goes in. Now, these studies are really interesting because they prove a couple of things. One, we already knew that vitamin C in ethylated form is much more shelf stable, so it oxidizes at a much slower rate, giving you a longer shelf life of your product. That's fantastic if, like me, you don't cycle through your vitamin C's super quick. If you find that no matter which one you go for, it always ends up oxidized by the time you get halfway through, ethylated ascorbic acid will be your best friend because it won't oxidize in the same way. Interestingly though, what we didn't know until now is that ethylated ascorbic acid is also proven to boost collagen and elastin production in the skin. This was always the limitation when it came to vitamin C derivatives. There's just not the data out there to show it actually has pro-collagen benefits. Well, that's no longer the case with ethylated ascorbic acid proven to actually boost collagen and elastin production the way that pure form vitamin C's do. This is why I think it's starting to get a lot more attention than it used to, because like I say, it's just got the same benefits that ascorbic acid has with a lower sensitivity profile. Third, and I think most importantly, is its absorption rate. So again, these new studies show that ethylated ascorbic acid actually absorbs better into the skin than any other form of vitamin C. Vitamin C in most of its forms struggles to get through the lipid barrier in the skin, meaning very little of the vitamin C actually gets where it needs to be in order to deliver those fantastic benefits, boosting collagen, brightening the skin, fading hyperpigmentation. Ethylated ascorbic acid is much more readily available in terms of its absorption into the skin, and so this could really be a game changer. Previously, brands had to formulate in ridiculously low pHs in order to get that vitamin C to absorb, causing sensitivity and irritation. You don't need to do that with ethylated ascorbic acid because it just finds its way into the skin that little bit easier, and that's all thanks to the alcohol molecule, which is modified and attached to the ascorbic acid. Now, when you take all of this in the round, I don't think it's hard to see why there's a lot of excitement around ascorbic acid in its ethylated form, and why I personally think this might be the future direction that we see vitamin C's going in. Less sensitivity because pure form vitamin C is in a low pH, whereas ethylated ascorbic acid doesn't need to be. Much more sensitive skin friendly. Better absorbed, it's got a longer shelf life and proven to have the same great benefits that pure form vitamin C has. To me, that's a no-brainer, and I'm increasingly starting to steer towards ethylated ascorbic acid as my vitamin C of choice. For those of you out there that are thinking, no, I'm just going to stick to my pure form vitamin C, that's absolutely fine. In skincare, use what works for you. That's always been my mantra. But I would just always caution people to say, pure form vitamin C only works in terms of delivering benefits if it's not oxidized. If it's turning that your orangey browny color, it's oxidizing and you're just not going to be getting the results. It's not dangerous to use vitamin C in its oxidized form, but it's not effective either. So I would just say, if you're somebody that's constantly struggling with oxidizing pure form vitamin C, maybe reaching for an ethylated ascorbic acid might be the way to get around that. Similarly, if you're someone that loves your vitamin C derivatives but want to kick it up a notch in terms of the results, it might be worth experimenting with ethylated ascorbic acid to see if it delivers you that. It doesn't have a high incidence of irritation and sensitivity on the skin the way that pure form does, so it could be a nice middle ground between the two different camps, as I said before. We now have a lot more choice, which for me was the game changer and why I've made the switch to ethylated ascorbic acid. And I want to share with you 4 of my absolute favourites. Before I do that though, I just want to say, if you're going to stick with ascorbic or L-ascorbic acid, pure form vitamin C, go for it, but just prioritise freshness. Always make sure that you're opting for a brand that puts freshness front and center, so you're going to minimize the risk of oxidation. For me, it will always be a no-brainer to reach for the Geek and Gorgeous C Glow, made fresh in batches every single week, so that you know when it arrives on your doorstep, it's no older than 7 days past its manufacture. Super fresh, so again, it's going to extend that shelf life and make sure that you're getting maximum benefits, minimum risk of oxidation. If you want to stick to your pure form vitamin C's, I would encourage everyone to go for that Geek and Gorgeous one. For me, it's a market leader in terms of freshness and delivery. But when it comes to ethylated ascorbic acids, I want to make 4 recommendations, and there's something here for everyone no matter what your price point is. The first product that really encouraged me to make the switch to ethylated ascorbic acid was this. This is the Allies of Skin 20% Vitamin C Brightening and Firming Serum. I always have said that this is the fastest acting vitamin C I have ever tried when it comes to fading hyperpigmentation, glowing up the skin, and boosting firmness. This works quicker than any other. And I was kind of shocked to realize it uses ethylated ascorbic acid. Now, you can clearly see that from the ingredients. I wasn't being keen enough in terms of looking out for that, but I was already hooked by the time I realized this. And I think this proved to me, at least anecdotally in terms of my own experiences, that ethylated ascorbic acid actually works quicker than a lot of oxidizing pure form vitamin C's. This stays fresh for as long as you need it to, and it just works like no other. A superstar that's also packed with glutathione, antioxidants, and so many pro-collagen, anti-hyperpigmentation ingredients. This is a standout one for me and was the first one I'll mention today because this is the one that got me hooked on ethylated ascorbic acid. Now, for this Allies of Skin one, I do have a 20% off discount code, which I've listed down in the description box below. I've linked all the products that I've mentioned today down in the description, so if you did want to make a purchase, check the price point, read the reviews, those links are there for your convenience. That discount code will take 20% off this, but even with that, it's not going to be for everyone's budget, and I get that. Fortunately, we do have a lot of different choice in ethylated ascorbic acid, and one slightly more affordable option comes courtesy of Medik8. This is the Medik8 Super C Ferulic, which a lot of people online are touting as the best dupe for the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic. It's got a very similar formulation, but the one key difference is this uses ethylated ascorbic acid versus the pure form vitamin C that the SkinCeuticals one used. Now, the SkinCeuticals always seem to come oxidized or on its oxidized path. It was already like a yellowy or orangey color when I got it, which means it's not going to be performing at peak efficacy. This, on the other hand, has always remained clear. I must be on bottle 3 of this now, and I've never had an issue with oxidation, just proving that ethylated ascorbic acid is more shelf stable. It feels beautiful on the skin. It doesn't have that intense prickling and stinging that you can get from some vitamin C's, and it definitely works. This delivers, and it packs a punch with antioxidants alongside that vitamin C, and is one of my personal favorites. I also love this because a lot of vitamin C's come with a slight hot dog water scent to them, which personally I don't find appealing at all. Not with this. It's fragrance neutral, so if you're somebody that doesn't like that vitamin C hot dog vibe, this is a great option for you. Probably the original ethylated ascorbic acid, or certainly the original mass market one, is the Neod Elan. This is the ethylated ascorbic acid network, which was one of the first products that they released. This actually has a sky-high concentration of that key ingredient, the ethylated ascorbic acid, at 30%. This packs a punch. When you want to reduce hyperpigmentation, boost collagen, and glow the skin up, this is one of the very best out there. It's actually really inexpensive. Neod, I think we always associate with higher price points, but this came in at £36, which for me is really affordable when you think of the formulation, the technology, and the fact that this is really going to last. In keeping with other ethylated ascorbic acid products, this doesn't oxidize as quick, so you have around 6 to 9 months to use this before it'll start to turn. That's amazing because it means you can get through a bottle and there's zero wastage. I absolutely love this one, and Neod, whilst they haven't come out with any new products in what seems like 3 or 4 years, don't stress that. Innovation is only one part of the journey. If you've got amazing OG products, you don't need to come out with a whole host of new ones. This was part of their original collection, and to this day, I still think stands the test of time and is one of the very best out there. Finally, for the drugstore hardcore out there, people that really want to experience ethylated ascorbic acid at the most affordable price point, go for the new launch by e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Bright Icon Serum. Ethylated ascorbic acid, antioxidants, beautiful range of hydrating ingredients. This does it all, and I think I've got one on order now. I think I paid like £14 for it. Super inexpensive, doesn't break the bank, and shows that in 2025 we can get ethylated ascorbic acid on a budget. Whatever your budget happens to be, there's something here for you. If you want super quick results and you don't mind splurging that coin to get it, I think the Allies of Skin, well, it certainly was the one that transitioned me from pure form to ethylated ascorbic acid. The Medik8 one is a fantastic option for people that want a scent neutral vitamin C that doesn't give hot dog vibes, and the Neod and the e.l.f. are great for people that want to do ethylated ascorbic acid at a lower price point. There really is something out there for everyone, and whilst not everybody is going to want to move to ethylated ascorbic acid, derivatives might be working fantastically for you. You might still believe that ascorbic pure form vitamin C is where it's at. That's absolutely fine. Use what works for you, but hopefully in this video I've been able to demystify ethylated ascorbic acid, giving you guys the information you need to make the right decision when it comes to your own skin's needs. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye!